What is going on, guys? Thanks for coming back to Orbit TV. Now, today, I have a brand new video because I'm going to be talking to you. Well, the last video was about the old build test, but I'm actually going to be talking to you about the next update for No Man's Sky. This is obviously going to be update 3. We've had the Foundation update, and we've also had the Pathfinder update, but people are wondering what's next. And it seems as if it's going in the way of a trailer, if you know what I mean. So the trailers were released, it was like exploration, fight, trade, and survival. It seems as if it's going in the same way as the trailers, but there has been a few stuff which hasn't been discussed, which I'm going to discuss for you right now. So let's get straight into the video. So the first thing that people are speculating is the new cloud rendering. If we go back to a post literally when the game was released, Sean did speak about that the new cloud rendering tech was going to be added into the game. Now we had the freighters because he did say about that, and the TAA, but we haven't got the cloud rendering. But there is actually speculation that it is in progress, because if we go into the games files, we can see there is a thing called cloud rendering fragment. So it seems as if it's an unfinished placement or an unfinished texture, but they're just updating and updating over time. Now, the other thing is there's a fourth race. Now, the fourth race, I'm going to make a separate video about, but to put it into sort of a separate video, it's essentially called Forth, which is kind of funny. It's called F-O-R-F, and basically it would make sense because it would be balancing out the 3 races, maybe adding into a faction war or something else. I don't know. But that is going to be a video in itself. But be prepared, for the next update could actually add hints to another race. Another thing is the new creature type. I'm just going to put it on the screen now. I mean, holy shit. If I came across that in the new cloud rendering, which actually had shadows, and then bang, this thing pops out, I'd shit myself. But anyway, the thing that was added in the update, because after every single update, there's always new things added into the game. So after the Foundation update, people were like, holy shit, there's, a vehicle. But now we actually have images for, I'm not going to get them up. So we have missiles, tire grips, and more missiles, and energy cells. These are all things that are found in the files, and they look like they're going to be added into the game. This is why people are saying that it makes sense for the game to be orientated around combat. So as the first two, it seems as if they're kind of the same texture. One's just like, the top one is actually unlocked, the bottom one just isn't unlocked, if that makes sense. They're both on the screen now, but the tire grips is kind of funny, because that, we don't really need the tire grip. So does this mean more terrain is going to be generated, which causes actual like ice to spawn and stuff like that? We don't really know, but either way, moving on. The other stuff that was found is internal view and external view selectors suit voice files. Now this is brilliant. If we can actually finally go third person in our ship and first person, whenever we want, that would be incredible. People would love that. I would love that as well. So I will try and find them, and I will put them on the screen. But it does literally sound like you can swap and swap between each view. Maybe it can be in your ship, maybe it can be when you're roaming around on a planet, maybe it'll be when you're actually driving around in your car. We don't know yet, but it's nice to speculate and nice to see that all of these new things are being added into the game. Now there's also another hint towards maybe subterranean. It says extreme subterranean temperature toxicity detected and hazardous caves. Does this mean that we are actually getting a terrain update along with a survival update, along with a combat update, along with it's just going to be a massive update? We've had the Foundation, it sets the foundations, a Pathfinder to find a way. They've found a way, they've set the foundations. Is this going to be No Man's Sky 2.0? We don't know yet. But there's other things. Freighter warp initiated, a new bounty detected. The new bounty detector is already in the game, but the freighter warp, I feel like this could be another hint towards that we might actually be able to pilot our freighters. However, I don't see how that could link into the game, if you understand what I mean, because there's not really any threats towards it. But either way, we'll have to wait and see. Now there's also new assistant hired. This is already in the game, but there's an extra file, if that makes sense. So it seems that you're going to be able to hire another one. Maybe it's for the fourth race. We don't really know yet. There's also danger toxic rain breach. Now this means that when you're sitting in your in your ship, this could mean that the toxic rain has actually breached the system and is actually inside your ship. However, we don't know yet. A lot of this is all speculation, so don't take my word for it. I don't want to you know, start saying this and people are gonna be like, okay, this is right, and then when it gets released, we actually get something completely different. It's like, oh, okay, this was wrong. This is just speculation of stuff found in the game files, which was added on the Pathfinder update. Now, the language files also show that there's, if you're in the middle of a storm, that launch procedures are unavailable. This isn't actually in the game right now, so I think it'll be pretty cool that you have to wait the storm out before you can take off. And there's also beacon sync established, beacon sync busy. Not sure about that one yet. Maybe it's another save point or something else. We're not really 100% sure. Now, there's also a lot of new buildings. Now, you can actually access these buildings. It requires you unpacking the game, packing them again, and putting them in. Now, Harvester Processing Facility were already in the game from what I heard, but I didn't know about these last three. So we've got Munitions Factory, Convergence Center, and Trade Federation Uplink. Now, Processing Facility in Harvester, I've actually been in. They're really untextured, they're really buggy. You go in them, I crashed sometimes, but these other three, I might actually go and have a look to see what they are, because it's kind of interesting. I've never actually seen these before, so we'll have to be wait and see. Now, these are other things. These are actually in the game since launch, but they keep getting updated over time, if you know what I mean. So the date changes and all of this other stuff, it sort of changes when it was last updated. So it seems as if they're working on it. So we've got black hole shielding. So that obviously means, you know, when you go through a black hole, your ship gets damaged. Maybe this is a sort of another layer of shield to go through black holes. That makes a lot of sense. Warp Reactor Omega. This is a new warp reactor. Because we have before, if they increase it to 5, maybe it can say it will allow the user's hyperdrive to reach higher speed and leap distance currently within physical possibility. It also simultaneously bonds with life support systems to limit user experience of temporal abnormalities. User is advised to access hyperdrive systems for over galactic map. Now that's the same, but that's pretty cool. And we also have other items, it seems here. So we've got Boson Cylinder, Convergence Lattice. That may be from the Convergence Center. You get these and they can just sell. They're sort of commodities. I've also got Gek Electro Gas, and it says oh my god, I can't even say this word. An effervescent and reactive gaseous spore used in diagnostic tools by the Gek. We also have Korvax Microdot, a microdot of almost unimaginable complexity capable of holding vast stores of data. So it's basically a microchip. A Viking Shard. Now this one is quite interesting. It says a jagged shard of Viking construction. Now listen, which can be combined with others to build a variety of complex weapons and upgrades. Now, the funniest thing is that the Viking is actually the guy you hire for your base, and he's like the I can't remember, he's like the weapons handler. So if you could give him these weapons or these shards to make new crazy weapons, could this be the key for the portals? Now, we also have Muster Point. It's a buildable device that can summon your starship to it from any location. There's mods which add in, you know those things which like are on the ground near bases sometimes. There's a mod which added them in. I guess this is probably just one of them. Now, what's interesting is there is actually a new game mode been released. It's called Ambient, and it's described as a relaxing visual experience. Explore the sights of the universe for a calm and infinite camera fly-through. I don't know if it'll be a scripted fly-through, but either way, that is pretty damn cool. Now, comments from the GDC 2017 hints towards a couple of things, and I'll explain them now. Sean actually implied that they're looking into waterfalls and rivers, and they're actually going to implement them into the terrain generation. And Inez McKendrick stated that Hello Games is looking into changing the shader-based water. We all know that the water in No Man's Sky is not the greatest, so this will be pretty interesting. Now, Paul Weir, the guy who makes all the music, well, not makes all the music, but implements all the music, said that there's more animal sounds and more music to be implemented. And the Pathfinder update, I think a lot of people noticed this, it didn't actually show the biome and resource data of discovered planets. I hope you understand that a lot of this stuff, I'm really hoping it's going to come. We're obviously going to get missiles. The internal view and external view, oh, holy Moses. That would be incredible if we got that. Apart from that, there's not really much else I can talk about, so I hope you guys enjoyed. It was a little bit shaky. I mean, I'm a bit nervous about making videos currently, but I'll be sure to get back to my usual self. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for coming back to Orbit TV, and have a wonderful day. Peace.